Thank you so much. Well, it's definitely very exciting to be here today. My name is Chris Carney. I'm the Director of MBA Recruitment at the University of Kentucky's Gatton College of Business and Economics. Uh, I can't start this presentation without first saying that we absolutely have had a great history with Centre College students joining the UK MBA, so we're so glad that you're joining this presentation to learn more about this graduate school option. Going to graduate school is certainly not the easiest decision, but we believe at UK that we want to help you guys make an informed decision. And so today's presentation is going to be centered around the UK MBA. So we'll have a little bit of information, hopefully a lot of inspiration, and the goal is really to help each of you make an informed decision on if this is going to be a good program for you to pursue for your graduate school studies. So we'll get right into it with the MBA presentation. So I'm calling it the one-year MBA virtual info session. The reason I'm going to be targeting the one-year MBA is that our one-year MBA at the University of Kentucky is a program that we see as being a natural fit for a lot of you that are maybe coming right out of undergrad. You'll be graduating maybe this year or in a few years. But the one-year MBA is the program that we designed for young professionals, recent graduates, emerging leaders. So although we have several MBA packages at the University of Kentucky, the one-year MBA is a program that I think is going to be the natural fit for many of you. So we're going to center the presentation today on the one-year MBA. So today's agenda is going to be why an MBA. First, I want to make an argument on the value of an MBA, especially in today's world. What can you do with it? Why is it important to maybe think about an MBA for your graduate school work? But then why an MBA at the University of Kentucky? There are a lot of MBA programs out there, so it can be a little overwhelming, to be honest with you. But what makes the MBA program at the University of Kentucky unique, and what type of candidates are we looking for to represent our program? We're going to tackle the one-year MBAs, just like I said, so we'll do a very detailed review of the one-year program. We'll talk about career support and alumni success. Obviously, if you were to do this program, we hope that all of you would become successful alumni and have great careers. And so I think it's important that we talk about that. Of course, you got to talk about the admissions process. I mean, what are we looking for in a candidate? What would you need to do to apply into this program? What are the admission steps? And then the funding options. A lot of students like to know what scholarship opportunities are out there, what the tuition is. So we'll talk about that as well. And then if it's okay, we're going to save the Q&A for the end. If you have questions along the way, you could put them into the chat, and we'll kind of manage those questions for the end of the presentation. But we will carve out some time at the end for Q&A. So if you have some questions, feel free to ask those at the end. We'll make sure we get all those answered. All right, so first I've got to brag about Centre College. You guys are doing amazing. I saw this infographic the other day, and I thought I would drop this into today's presentation. I think that Centre College is doing amazing right now, and this is by no means a secret. You guys are doing really well, and that's one of many reasons why we like to do these info sessions at Centre and many other schools that we feel has a great reputation, because these colleges always produce successful students as we see it. And we've had a lot of Centre alumni do the UK MBA, and I'm actually going to share a few of those success stories today. But I just wanted to first start with congratulations. There's a lot of great things that you guys are doing. It was recognized recently in some of the ranking surveys. US News and World Report is one of them. So great job, and we are very excited for you all. So just a little bit of an introduction. I hope that none of this is repetitive, but I think it's natural. I think we should start here. It's quite obvious that there's a lot of change going on right now. And not just, in our society and our social change, but businesses are having to respond differently to meet these challenges, how we communicate with each other, how businesses operate, how they communicate with customers. All of this is impacting all of us individually, of course, but it's impacting the business community as well. And they're having to make some really interesting decisions and how to keep their operations moving. So there's a lot of change going on right now than ever before. So as a result of that change, what we see as the value of maybe why an MBA is that candidates are now seeking an education that can allow them to be more nimble, more competitive, and more versatile. And I think today, more than ever before, especially if it wasn't true before, it definitely is true now. Today's young professional, today's working professional has got to be more nimble, more competitive, more versatile, so you can adapt and change a little bit quicker. So learning the language of business to be able to make strategic decisions and be a problem solver, not a problem creator, that is what students are needing more than ever before. And that's how we look at our MBA program at the University of Kentucky. We want you guys to be able to adapt and lead at during these times right now, but also we want you guys to have long-term career success. So we look at an MBA as not just a short-term investment, but a long-term investment. So why an MBA? Well, number one, a lot of employers will tell you, at least employers that like to hire our talent, they kind of assume that you guys are smart. You're academically there, but where really MBA candidates excel themselves, I think, is in the areas of what they call the soft skills. Your ability to think critically, you're a strong presenter, or you have confidence in that space. You're a good communicator. You know how to build teams or work within a team, and resolve conflict and have negotiation skills. So these are skills that students will gain in an MBA program. And so strengthening your soft skills is definitely an area that would be that you would be able to do by pursuing an MBA program. Obviously, you want to increase your business acumen. We accept all majors in this program. So if you're a business major, non-business major, we're going to challenge you in a different way to think at a much higher stage about how you understand the language of business. So meeting today, tomorrow's business challenges in this very competitive and ever-changing marketplace and economy, that's certainly a valuable asset in having an MBA behind your name. And I've said this before, being a little bit more nimble, being a little bit more agile, we want you to be able to grow and lead and advance, again, over the long term, not just in the short term. So why an MBA at the University of Kentucky? We have a strong reputation, not just as the flagship university in the Commonwealth, but beyond. We have had a great reputation in organizations looking at the UK MBA program to hire our talent to represent their companies in different leadership and advancement roles. And so, again, having a strong reputation is obviously a good thing. We have great career outcomes. I'm going to go over this a little bit further in the presentation in terms of the percentage of our students that get hired out of this program and what type of careers many of them have. But we definitely have very strong career outcomes. We have a great community, not just in Central Kentucky, but here in Lexington. We also lean on many different experts and professionals to help guide us. So we have many companies, again, that partner with us to hire our talent. We have different advisory boards. We have a great faculty and staff, and so there's lots of people that are very dedicated, very experienced, and influential. And again, when you're going to graduate school, obviously it's important about what you're learning in class, but I also think that it's important to have the relationships, all right? We still live, we still operate in a space where, you heard this before, it's not just what you know, but who you know. I think both are important, of course, but being in a program that has an influential and strong community is certainly something that you have to think about. And then our program is constantly evolving every year. So just as much as we ask our students to be agile and versatile in their careers, our program has to do the same thing. So we're always looking at our curriculum every year, adding new electives, adding new workshops, professional development. We're always trying to make sure that the MBA that you're getting at the University of Kentucky is in real time, and it'll add value immediately when you leave, and hopefully for many years to come. So let's dive into the one-year MBA. That's going to be the goal for today, is to help each of you understand what the one-year MBA is all about, who it's for, and some of the program deliverables. So again, the one-year MBA is designed for young professionals, recent graduates, emerging leaders. Most of my students, not all of them, but most of them come right out of undergrad and go straight into the one-year MBA. I do have a few students that go out and get some industry experience and then maybe come back and do our one-year MBA, but a lot of them come right out of undergrad and go straight into our one-year MBA program. So it is a full-time MBA. So we're definitely going to keep you busy for those 11 months. It's 51 credit hours. It's a cross-disciplinary curriculum with a mix of core and elective courses. I'm going to go over that in a second. But outside of the courses, what we see as being very valuable is what we call the enrichment activities. Again, this is where you can network, gain additional certifications, compete in competitions, engage with our alumni, and many of them are certainly gatekeepers into career and employment opportunities, and then the professional development and workshops. I've mentioned that before. So we have a very, what we call a broad-based curriculum. We don't want you guys to walk out being an expert in one thing. We want you to be very proficient at many things, and that's the purpose of the MBA, to be more versatile, to be a little bit more agile, and to have skills in many different areas of the business model. So we design our program to be for business majors and non-business majors. In fact, about 65% of our current class are actually non-business majors. So we have engineers in the program. We have students that have degrees in health sciences. Obviously, we have some business majors like accounting, finance, marketing, and economics, but we like that diversity of having different majors in our program. We want to make sure that those skills and those conversations that you're having in the classroom are learning from different perspectives and learning from people that have different skills that they can bring to the projects, that they can bring to the team and to the classroom. So if you were worried, like, hey, my major is not going to be applicable, it might be, because 65% of our current class are non-business majors. So we welcome all majors in this program. So our curriculum allows for a little bit of what we call customization. So around the MBA core, you can take many electives in areas that are important to you. Maybe it's entrepreneurship. Maybe that's something that you're very interested in. Maybe it's more analytics or marketing research. We offer a wide range of electives that you can choose to add to your coursework, so you can get those extra classes to graduate and take the courses that you feel are meaningful for you. Project Connect is a very important part of the one-year MBA. Project Connect is our built-in internship in the one-year MBA. Many of our students, because they're coming right out of undergrad and going straight into our one-year MBA, are lacking a lot of what we call the corporate real-world experience. And so Project Connect, what it does is it pairs you up with companies within an MBA team, meaning you might have 4 or 5 people on your team. And while you're going to classes with us, you're applying what you're learning in class in real time to real projects at real companies. So this is happening simultaneously while you're doing your coursework. Okay, so the students behind the scenes are working with a lot of our blue chip companies all over Kentucky and beyond. So you can gain that real world experience while you're enrolled in our program. And so some of the companies that we partner with right now are right here on this slide. A lot of them you probably are familiar with. We have a few of them that have their headquarters in Lexington, like Valvoline. World headquarters is located in Lexington. Alltech, we added L8 this year, which obviously is a very popular Kentucky brand. So as you can see here, we have a wide range of companies that you're going to be able to build relationships with through Project Connect and working on real projects throughout the year that's happening simultaneously with your coursework. What's also going to happen is you're going to be able to meet the leadership teams at these companies that are going to kind of be your liaison to the projects. So what happens when you start our program is you get to understand the scope of the project when you start our program, and then you'll have a fall semester and spring semester deliverables. So it's a really great opportunity to gain that real world experience, expand your network, and build your confidence. Many students that maybe leave an undergrad program or maybe even a graduate program, in many cases are still lacking that confidence and that corporate experience. You're going to get that through Project Connect. So we're very excited that our one-year MBA students get to participate in an experience like this. So the curriculum is listed right here. This is as of today. Going forward, so when we're building our 2021, our 2022 classes and beyond, you know, the curriculum may change and probably will. But as you guide your eyes down this page, the left column is the core classes. These are going to be the classes that would be required for you to take. And then you can actually choose up to 4 electives, which is on the right column. And those can be the classes that you can take in conjunction with the MBA core to obtain the 51 credits that you need to graduate. So as you can see, the core does a really good job of giving you kind of the nucleus of an MBA, you know, your high-level finance, managerial courses, leadership classes, supply chain, which is a really big opportunity these days in terms of careers. But then the electives that we'll continue to add more courses with those are some of them on the right. The only thing that I did not include on the right was the entrepreneurship concentration. So as you can see, the electives on the right column, these are classes that you can choose from, but you can also choose from any 4 of these entrepreneurship electives in addition to the elective courses that I showed on the previous slide. So basically the takeaway here is you have a lot of electives that you can choose from. What do you want to take and in what capacity? So if you have any entrepreneurship endeavors or you're just a creative person that likes to think outside the box, entrepreneurship is a great class to take. And if you want to take all 4 of these, you can actually get your entrepreneurship concentration within the one-year MBA program at the University of Kentucky. And I can tell you, a lot of students sometimes feel that when things are happening the way that they are right now, sometimes we associate entrepreneurship with, like, you know, opening up a small business. And some people are maybe a little bit scared about doing that during these times. I can tell you some of the best ideas that happen are during challenging times, because we have to find solutions to these problems that we're having. So new ideas and new ways of thinking are what entrepreneurs like to do. And I apologize if you hear some of my dogs barking in the background. Hopefully they'll calm down here in a second, but I do apologize for that. But we're going to keep plugging away here. But the entrepreneurship concentration is something that we are very excited about. We just launched it this time last year. And so it's a relatively new program or new concentration. So again, if you have entrepreneurial endeavors or interests, or you're just a creative person, these are certainly courses for you. We offer plenty of certifications and workshops in the one-year MBA program. We offer the Lean Six Sigma Green Belt certification. We offer the project management workshop, which can actually help you sit for the CAPM exam and start to build on your PMI certification. So for those of you that want to get into project management on any type of level, this is a great place to start with the project management workshop. And then we offer the Global Commerce and Strategy workshop through the World Trade Center of Kentucky. So these are what we call value-added modules. They're not mandatory in our program, but they're things that we offer for free as an MBA student at the University of Kentucky. I would highly take advantage of all of these. They're great resume builders. They expand your skill set, and you might find some great interest in becoming a leader in Lean Six Sigma principles, in being a project manager, or having a global outlook on your career. So you'll come to learn more about the value of these certifications and workshops as an MBA student. So what's also very important is to look at your career outcomes when you're entering an MBA program. Obviously, for all of you, hopefully, as a center student or maybe as a UK MBA student, you're looking at your career, and that's important, right? We're all going to college, hopefully, to better ourselves as individuals, but to also become a successful professional. So career outcomes is something we measure. It's something that's important to us as it pertains to rankings. But most importantly, we want to see our students succeed. We want to see alumni of our program do well, just as much as Center College wants to see you guys do well. The University of Kentucky does too. So we offer an internal career management service called the Graham Office of Career Management. They actually sit at the Gatton College of Business and Economics, which is the business college at UK. And they're going to be working with our MBA students over the course of that year to help you build relationships with companies that like to hire our talent, to get your resume out there, to help you do interview prepping. And their goal, hopefully yours is as well, is to help find the right opportunities, job opportunities for you to apply for and to help you secure them. So our goal every year is to get you guys the best opportunities that are available and to hopefully have an opportunity that is secured before you even graduate. Now, of course, COVID has really changed the game in terms of how we work with employers, how we communicate with them, how they communicate with you. So we are working every day on how we can continue to thrive in this space, even during these challenging times. There are companies still hiring. There are jobs out there, but it's taking students a little bit more time to navigate. So it's important to start the process early. And trust me, when you're working with us for this 1 year in the one-year MBA, we'll definitely be working with you from the very beginning all the way until you graduate and then beyond if that's what it takes, because that's important to us and it should be important to you. So you'll be partnering with the Graham office, which is the career management team, and you'll have a very personal relationship with them for this 1 year. Our 3-year average right now, so this is 2017 to 2019. We don't have the 2020 data yet because we're still working through that right now. So through those last 3 years, we've had a 3-month post-graduation rate of 84%. And what that means is that the MBA students that do this program, what percentage of them have secured their job either before graduation or 3 months after graduation? This is the marker that ranking that we have to use when we're applying for the ranking survey. So when you guys see Center College getting ranked by the US News World Report, there's data that they have to report. We have to do the same thing at the University of Kentucky, and our MBA program participates in many of these ranking surveys as well. So when we're reporting our career data, this is the number that we report. So this is our 3-year average between 2017 and 2019 for the 1-year MBA. So we're very excited about that percentage. I think any career team will tell you that getting 100% of your students before they graduate or even 3 months thereafter is very challenging. We work towards that 100% every year, but sometimes our students take a little bit longer, even beyond 3 months, to secure their career opportunity, and that's okay. We continue to work with them, and even though we can't report them in our numbers, we still are working with them nonetheless to help them find the right opportunities. But we're very excited that 84% of our students on average are either securing their job either before they graduate or 3 months after they graduate from the 1-year program. These are some of our recent hires. Honestly, I could do a whole presentation just on companies that hire our students, but I decided just to include companies that have a little bit more name cachet, companies that you probably would be familiar with, but it definitely shows a large suite of companies and organizations that like to hire our talent. But we literally have hundreds and hundreds of employers every year that like to like to look at our MBA talent, that have hired our MBA talent over the years. But again, this is just kind of a small taste of companies for today's presentation that like to hire our students each year. A lot of students like to ask me, well, what can I do with an MBA? The short answer is a lot, but in terms of what career titles our students tend to get when they graduate from this program. These are some of those listed right here. We have a lot that get into analyst roles, whether it be in marketing, supply chain, operations. We have a lot of students that get into consulting roles. We have many that become entrepreneurs, and we have many success stories of students that open up their own companies and are doing very well. But I just wanted to give you kind of a little bit of a flavor of different roles that our students get in. So on the previous slide, these are the companies that like to hire our students. By no means is this an exhaustive list, but these are some of the titles that our students secure at some of those companies, but by no means is this an exhaustive list. This just gives you kind of an idea of some of the titles that our students secure after they do this program. So earlier this week, I ran a query of center college students that have done the one-year MBA program at the University of Kentucky, and we had a lot of them. But I decided to pick 4 that I thought would be good to spotlight in this conversation today, because I wanted to be respectful of everyone's time, and we could do a whole presentation just on Center College and Center College alums that have done the MBA program at the University of Kentucky. But these are 4 of them that I thought are doing very well. They work at different companies and organizations that hopefully many of you are familiar with. They're doing different things with the degree. So as you can see with Sean, that's working at Humana, he's a senior business intelligence engineer. Andy is a partner and chief operating officer at Ballas, which is a big wealth management company here in Lexington. Lauren is working at HR for the diesel plant division at Corning, so a very good company here in Kentucky. And then I think we all know Toyota, and Emily Robbins is a manager at Toyota, and she's been there for several years. So anyway, you can look up these students on LinkedIn if you want. I'd recommend maybe connecting with them. They went to Center College, different majors, different graduation years, but nonetheless came over and did the one-year MBA at the University of Kentucky and are doing very well in their career. So we're very proud of them. So I thought this would be just helpful success stories to present today to you all. And these are students that obviously went to Center and chose the UK MBA. And I just wanted to make sure that we had some success stories to show each of you today in this presentation. So transitioning away from the one-year MBA, hopefully that gave you a good idea of what the one-year MBA is all about, who it's for. I did want to share with you the admissions requirement. So if you decided that, hey, I'd like to maybe apply for this program, well, what would it take? So the first thing that you would want to do is then you would want to follow the link at the top of the page and actually start the online application. You can do that whenever you're ready. I'm not sure how many of you are freshmen, sophomore, juniors, or maybe you're seniors, but obviously what year you are is going to dictate when you apply. But nonetheless, you would do the application on our website. We do require either the GMAT or the GRE exam. So this is kind of like the SATs or the ACT when you apply to college. Now we're looking at grad school. So we accept either the GMAT or the GRE. There's only a few circumstances that maybe students could qualify for a GMAT GRE waiver. I would want each of you to follow the waiver policy that's on our website for information on that. And I'm going to send this entire presentation forward after today. So if you don't have to write all these hyperlinks down right now, but I'll make sure that everybody gets the entire slide deck. But if you want to read through the waiver policy, you can. But to be fair, most of my students coming right out of undergrad typically do not qualify for a GMAT GRE waiver. There's only a few scenarios that there might be a few exceptions. So I hope that as you walk out of this presentation, if it is applying to the UK MBA, getting your minds wrapped around preparing for the GMAT or the GRE, whichever one you decide to take, is probably going to be a step that you need to take. All right. We will require your transcripts. So that would be from Center. If you went to any other school before Center, we would want those transcripts as well. So all official transcripts from all your undergraduate institutions, one letter of recommendation, your updated resume. We definitely look at those. We want to see your successes, not just in the classroom, but more importantly, outside of the classroom. So definitely work on getting those resumes up to speed, because we do look at those. There's a personal statement that you'll write. Our personal statement is centered around the topics of career trajectory and then servant leadership. You'll see this on our website. So as you read the prompt, you'll understand how you write your personal statement. And this is also something that we read too. For any of you that are non-business majors, if you haven't taken financial accounting, managerial accounting, micro or macroeconomics, these are what we call the prerequisite courses or the preparatory courses for our program. There are many options in satisfying these preparatory courses. You could take them at Center if you like. We actually offer an online solution called IV Software, which is kind of like an online modular course. It's not for a grade, but some of our students that weren't able to take these in their undergraduate coursework, they can do them online through us. So there's many ways of satisfying these courses, but nonetheless, they would be something that each of you would need to think about, assuming that you don't take them in your undergraduate work at Center, okay? The final application deadline every year, as space remains available, is May 11th. Let's say there's some seniors on this call today, and let's say you would like to look at the 2021 class. The final application deadline for each of you would be May 11th, and that's as space remains available, okay? So we're on a rolling admissions evaluation every year, so that means as applications come in, we're able to evaluate them and make a decision, and we do all that through May 11th as space remains available in the program. So these are the admissions requirements for the UK MBA, and highlighting the preparatory courses and then our final application deadline. Tuition and funding, we like to be upfront and very specific in terms of the funding options for the UK MBA and also what the total investment would look like. Just as much as for those of you that qualified for financial aid as an undergraduate student, you can apply for financial aid as a graduate student, and that's all through the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. So I would encourage you to look at that as an opportunity if that's something that you would like to pursue when you're thinking about graduate school. But a lot of students like to think about scholarships when it comes to grad school, and we totally get that. We do have a very healthy scholarship budget every year, but they are competitive. And so every student is trying to apply early and put their best foot forward so they can not only be accepted into our program, which is competitive, but to also maybe have a scholarship package attached to that. So when you apply into the UK MBA, we're already looking at your application, not just for an acceptance decision, but also maybe for a scholarship package. We're already doing that behind the scenes. What can you do to put yourself in the best position to be competitive? I always tell students apply early and to focus on the parts of the application that you can strengthen and add value. So your GPA is going to play a role in that. Your resume is going to play a role in that. Your GMAT, GRE scores are going to play a role. We look at everything holistically, and we look at every candidate to see who is the most qualified and most competitive and deserving of a scholarship to pursue our program. If you're a Kentucky resident, the tuition and fees, I included that here on this slide. So that is the total for the 1 year program. And then for non-residents, that is the total for the 1 year when you add up all the tuition and fees. So we like to give our students the total number so you can start to understand the investment that it would take to pursue this program if you decide to apply and if you were accepted. The scholarship deadline every year, we have two of them. We have the priority scholarship deadline, which is January 15th every year. So for students that want to apply early and be considered early for a scholarship, we ask that they apply by the priority deadline, which is January 15th. Okay, so I would highly encourage all of you to apply by the 15th of January so you can meet that deadline. After January 15th, if funds are still available, scholarship funds, we have a final scholarship deadline, which is April 1st. Okay, so you still could receive a scholarship up to April 1st, but I always tell my students to really try to apply by the 15th of January so you can put yourself in the best position for dollars, okay? And the tuition and fees that are reflected right here on this page are for the 2020-2021 academic year. We always have to wait every year for campus to decide what they're going to do for tuition and fees each year. So for next year, which would be the 2021-2022, we'll probably find out this time next year what the tuition and fees would look like. But at least as of today, this just gives you an idea of what the numbers look like. So in conclusion, to put it quite simply, the UK MBA, we're looking for very motivated, ambitious young professionals, emerging leaders from all academic backgrounds. We're looking for students that are looking to be stretched, that want to look at the long-term impact of their career, and they're looking at their education in terms of the versatility and receiving the knowledge and credentials and skills so you guys can lead and advance in a myriad of industries or entrepreneurship endeavors. So if those are things that motivate you, this might be an attractive option for you. And we also recognize that there are a lot of MBA options out there. So this is not a presentation to suggest in any way, shape, or form that you should only apply to the UK MBA and that's it. We hope that our program would be an attractive option for you, but I always tell students that you should look at what's important to you and apply to several programs so you can make the most informed decision. Our program is not easy. I tell students all the time, do not apply to our program because you think it's going to be easy. But if you're looking for a challenge, if you're looking to be stretched, if you want a very well-rounded degree, if you want to meet a lot of people, I think this program is a great option to think about. So we're all here to help you make an informed decision. That is something that I believe in, and I want to make sure that that's a good fit on both sides. We are doing what we need to do to find the best students to represent our program, but you're doing what you need to do to put your best foot forward, and we want it to be a natural fit on both sides, okay? I'm not sure if this video, can I get maybe a thumbs up from some of my center partners here? Can you guys see this video okay? Or can somebody chime in and just let me know that you see this okay? We're good? Okay. So this is thank you very much for that. This is a video that we put together. It's about maybe 2 minutes. We're calling it Define Yourself or See Yourself at UK. And that's really the question I want to leave all of you with today as we conclude the presentation. Can you see yourself at the University of Kentucky? So this is one of our one-year MBA students right here. I'm going to play this short video. And I just hope that this is maybe some inspiration for all of you to answer that question about can you see yourself at the University of Kentucky? Hopefully this plays. Okay, I just heard that you guys can't hear the video. Is that correct? I apologize for that if that is the scenario. Let's maybe try it again, hopefully. And if not, we'll skip this part. But I'm going to hit the play button. Can somebody maybe give me a thumbs up or message me if you can hear the audio?
Growing up, I wanted to be a CIA agent.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Helping people all across the world has always been my love. I believe People and businesses should be helping others. I found myself at UK because they took my dreams, my ideas, planning them into a reality and a future I could see. I fell in love with this amazing city and its undying spirit. Lexington is what convinced me that this is a school I am proud to be a part of. And now, I'm on a path where I can make a difference. Right here, or anywhere in the world.
Okay, thank you for watching that. Sorry for the audio issues in the beginning. We're learning every day about Zoom, right? So I learned something about how to get my audio to work on a video because I muted myself and I think that muted the video. So I apologize for that. So hopefully that just gave you more inspiration. That's one of our one-year MBA students that's currently in the program doing really well. Her name is Jillian Valencia. Happy to introduce you to her if you'd like to, but we have a great class of students right now in the program. So she's just one success story among many that we're having right now in the program. So we are almost done, and then we're going to open it up for questions. So this is my contact information. And I encourage all of you to connect with me on LinkedIn, or you can email me if you want to set up a one-on-one conversation. This is our website, gatton.uky.edu/MBA. A lot of the information that we presented in today's presentation is, of course, on the website, but definitely you can dive a lot deeper on the website. I would encourage you to do that. So going forward, if you have an interest in the UK MBA, I'm certainly your best contact. I look forward to working with you and developing a relationship. I just wanted to make sure that each of you had my contact information. Again, I will provide the slide deck, so you don't feel like you got to write all this down, but I'll make sure that all of you have my contact information going forward. So I'd like to open it up for questions. And I think we have roughly about maybe 10 or so minutes before we get to our 1 hour mark. And I want to make sure I'm being respectful of all of your time. There's many ways that we can do this. All of you have the raised hand option. So if you want to do that, I'm happy to call on you. If you want to put it in the chat, that's fine. Or if you just want to unmute yourself and ask away, that's okay too. So if there's any questions, I wanted to make sure we had an opportunity for each of you or any of you to ask your questions. And don't be shy. Any questions from the group? Nope. Let's look at the chat real quick. Okay, let's start with Sarah's question. Sarah, thank you for the question. How long is the average turnaround time from submitting your application to when you hear back from admissions? I would say that on average, we're very responsive. We don't like students waiting in the dark for too long. If a student applies and has satisfied all the admissions requirements, they're not missing anything, I would say probably within 2 to 3 weeks is reasonable, but we have been able to get back in contact with students within several days once they apply, if they have everything. So we have a system in place to evaluate applications pretty quickly. So we want to get back in contact with students so they can make an informed decision, and we don't like students waiting in the dark too long. So I would say on the high end, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, and on the low end, maybe 5 to 7 business days would be reasonable in terms of what you could expect once you apply and when you would hear back from us. Skylar asks, are there specific GPA or test score ranges you all look for? So the best way I can answer this question is what are our current class average right now for the GPA is right at about a 3.5. That's the current class average. That doesn't mean that if you have a GPA below that you should worry. But as you know, an average means that some people are scoring higher than a 3.5, some people are scoring lower, but the average right now is right at about a 3.5. Okay. So I would say for any of you that are, looking at your GPA and managing that, it is important. It is something that we look at. We do bring in a very competitive academic cohort every year as it relates to their majors, what schools they went to. We obviously value the center model, but that is our average GPA right now is about 3.5. The average test scores, so the GMAT and the GRE, they have a different scoring rubric, meaning the range of scores for the GPA, for the GMAT is a little bit different than the GRE, but they basically have two main sections. They have the verbal section and they have the quant section, and there's also a writing section on each one, but the core score is going to be on the verbal and the quantitative section. Right now, our average score on the GMAT, I think, is right at about a 645, which I think is right around about the 65, maybe 70 percentile score. And a perfect score on the GMAT's an 800. And on the GRE, our average score right now for the one-year students, I think, is right at about a 310 to a 315. That also is right at about a 65 percentile score, which means you're scoring better than, on average, scoring better than 65% of the students that are taking it across the GMAT GRE landscape. So our average score on the GRE is about a 310, maybe a 315, and a perfect score on the GRE is a 340. So I would encourage each of you, as you're navigating this decision, to go to these websites. We have a lot of resources on our website to help you make an informed decision on the GMAT or GRE. Take some practice exams, see which one feels right to you. Work with other students that maybe have taken these exams. Maybe you have some friends that are applying to grad school. I can introduce you to alumni or current students in our program that had to take the GMAT or the GRE. So ask some questions, do your research, and see which one feels right to you. But thank you for the question, Skylar. That's a really important question regarding GPA and the average test scores. Alex asked, what's your advice for boosting your resumes while COVID impacts many businesses? Yeah, that's a good question. I think that what we look for on the resumes is candidates that are being servant leaders in their communities, and I think that's something we all can do a better job with, right? There's a lot of people in need right now. There's a lot of organizations that are asking for help, and I think how you volunteer your time certainly speaks to your character. It certainly speaks to your what you believe and helping people, and that's something that we support. We want you guys to be successful inside a class, obviously, but we want you to be serving your communities as well. And I'm sure there's a lot of leadership opportunities on campus at Center through student organizations and in other ways. And so finding avenues like that to lead through some of the campus organizations at Center, looking at some of the leadership opportunities within your communities to lead and give back as you're comfortable. I mean, I think those are all ways to strengthen your resume a little bit. So hopefully that's just some advice, but definitely work with your team at Center. You have a great career center at Center College. I'm sure they can give you some tips as well, but those would just be some things that I would recommend. Great questions. Any other questions? One thing I'll add, and I kind of highlighted this before, but I'll say it again. We definitely want you all to have a relationship with our program. We're going to be having info sessions coming up this semester that'll be for everyone. This one was just for you guys at Center, so this was a very targeted presentation, but we're going to have more info sessions, more open houses. Again, they'll be virtual, but these could be great opportunities for you all to build relationships with us, our faculty, our staff, our students. Even beyond those events, maybe you just want my help in introducing you to current students in the program or successful alumni. Maybe you're targeting a certain career outcome that you're hoping this program could do for you. I could probably find somebody that did this program that is in that career field and introduce you to them. And we would be happy to do that to help you learn more about the UK MBA, build relationships with our alumni, and I'm sure they can give you some great advice that can only help you as you make this decision. So I just wanted to make sure that you all knew that, and you can contact me at any time to help you with that. Just the last thing I wanted to say, and then we will close out our presentation, is we also offer other graduate programs, business graduate programs at the Gatton College of Business. So I just wanted to be as thorough as I can today. Obviously, the goal was to help you learn more about the UK MBA, more specifically the one-year MBA. There are also other MBA options out there. These might be options for you down the road. Let's say you graduate from Center and you work for 5 or 10 years and you're a working professional now. Our professional MBA might be an option for you down the road. But for today, I wanted to focus on the one-year MBA. We also offer a Master's of Science in Accounting, Master's of Science in Finance, and we also offer a Master's of Science in Supply Chain Management, which we actually just launched this year. So for whatever reason, if you feel like the MBA is a good fit for you, great, love to work with you. But maybe one of our other graduate programs could be an option too. Our team would be happy to work with you on any or all of these programs. So I just wanted to make sure you knew there are other options that we do offer. And if you want to learn more about those programs, obviously you can visit us at gatton.uky.edu. So that is the conclusion of the presentation. I just want to say thank you for joining us. If you think of any other questions after today, feel free to reach out to your team at Center. They know how to contact me, and you could contact me directly. Again, I'll make sure the presentation gets out to everybody as well. And thank you for joining us. And I'm going to hang back and join the Center team just for a follow-up conversation here. But students, thank you for coming. It was really good to have you. And good luck with your fall semester.
Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks.